Yeah, man. I absolutely love this. The music is the bomb. I mean, shout out to you, my man, Ron Oliver from Tower Light Records, man. This is our official draft party theme music here. He's been sending me different mixes and things, and this one is just right. I mean, it is just right. You know, I've been on the road all day. I've done 320 miles. I've worked, but I just could not wait to get back down here for the beat. Shout out to you, Ron, and I appreciate you. So, it is Thirsty Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. We are only exactly, let me look at my watch. You know what? Exactly 1 week from today, we'll be sitting here broadcasting live, watching the draft. My man DMV will be here. Sheed will be here. David Wiley will be here. Clarence won't be missing in action. He'll be here. And guess what? All you channel members, you guys will be here as well, because if you're a channel member, you'll be part of the studio audience via Skype, and you'll be up on the big board. It's going to look a little bit different because it'll be draft night, but we're going to have a ball. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys and you ladies for being here. So let's get into business here. So I've been on the road, so forgive me. I'm just getting caught up on all the news, but something that was really special, that you understand that when you play football, you're almost like army buddies. Like you're going to war. I always equate it to being in the military. I've never been in the military. They said my feet were flat and wouldn't take me. So, you know, there's that. But if you've been married, you know it's like being in the military too. You know, don't tell my wife. Don't tell my wife. That was just a joke. It was a joke, honey. You know I got jokes. But you develop a camaraderie when you go to war, you go to battle, or you play football with somebody. These are your brothers in arms. And, you know, I have been a big critic for the Dallas Cowboys the last couple of years about why they were holding on to Tyron Crawford. One of the things that I've always said about the Dallas Cowboys is they hold on to people for too long and end up holding on to the point where the contract they still have, they lose money on it, or they end up basically going and they get nothing in compensation. One of the things that you have to look at with New England is they recognize this, and they're always looking to say, okay, I can take a player who's still got some upside, but I can get something in return, because a year or two from now, I'm going to have to live without him anyway. Better for me to try and get something to replace him that'll give me a few more years. Now, be that right or wrong, or however you want to look at it, that's the way they do. And when you see how many Super Bowls they've won and how inept we've been over the last 26 years, I have to say that, well, maybe we need to take a lesson from them. But Tyron Crawford, you know, he's gone through 2 hip surgeries, and it's, you know, the last couple of years has been kind of a mess for him, you know, as far as being physically. Your body just wears out from all the abuse. But we were always told Tyron Crawford does the dirty work and stuff, you know. He's a team captain. He's a team leader. And you get a little bit more of that gist from DeMarcus Lawrence, who ended up doing a tribute to him, which was really, really cool. And, you know, I'm gonna try and read it, okay? I butchered things up. I forgot to bring my glasses down, but I got it actually on my cell phone, so that way I can at least see it a little bit closer and better, but I still just don't read well in public, you know. And it's one of those things that, you know, I'll admit it, you know, between my dyslexia, between just not being able to sound out words, I'm a word butcher, but I'm going to do the best I can. That first weekend we met was so crazy. This was before Dallas, before we became Cowboys. Boise State, 2011. I don't expect you to remember it as well as I do. You were there. You were the big man on campus, and I was just some lowly junior college recruit on a visit. But I remember it all like it was yesterday. I showed up decked out in a JUCO team purple tracksuit, all purple, from head to toe. Just nothing but purple. Purple on purple. Damn, he had a lot of purple. And yeah, it seemed hilarious to me now. And I know you guys clown me for it. Roll it up looking like I was Prince or Barney or something. But back then, what did I know? Yeah, Barney. I hated Barney. The kids loved. I hated Barney. When I met all the guys on the team, I remember how everyone was pretty much the same to me. Hey, quick, what's up, bro? Maybe a fist bump here and there for the purple kid, and then kept it moving. You thought you thought you were different. You stopped by, you stopped to talk to me, to get to know me a little bit. You were genuine and kind. You just met me, but you already cared about me. You valued me as a person when we all got talking. You even went as far as to ask me for some tips, to pick my brain and get something, to pick my brain about getting to the quarterback. You got a move I should try tomorrow for the game? Something that'll get me a sack? At first I thought you were joking, but you were looking at me like, what you got for me, bro? So I took it real seriously, like the ultimate compliment. I thought for a few seconds and then came out with it. With your body type and size, I'd go with a rip. Okay, this is a rip move at first. And then if the tackle sits down on you, transition to an over-the-arm swim out of it to the quarterback. I hope I hadn't said the wrong thing, but it was tough to tell. You just nodded and gave me a look like, we'll see. Then less than 24 hours later, I'm in the stadium watching you do moves against Wyoming, and you actually got a sack using it. And I remember just absolutely going nuts at that moment. It was like, man, that guy really trusted me. Excuse me. It's cold out here. He took my advice, but like, holy crap, my move worked. He's like, damn, you mean that shit I told him worked? I've been there. It felt amazing, but what happened next was actually the best part. I'm not sure if you ever remember this, but after you came off the field and went over to the bench, you immediately looked up in the stands. You looked all around, and you found me. Then you ran over and told me thank you. Like, are you kidding me? You actually did that? And, man, I got to say, that's a heck of a start to a friendship right there. I still get goosebumps thinking about it. And see, that's beautiful. That is truly beautiful and shows you that football players, the funny thing is when you meet football players or celebrities or singers, actors and things, you don't think of them as a person with feelings and things like that. You put them up on this pedestal like, they're a football player. But the reality is they have feelings and issues and problems and all the shit stinks too. Let's put it out there. Their crap stinks too, just like everybody else. They are people. They just happen to be football players that have a whole lot more money than we do. But they're still people who still go through the same things as us. And that is one of those incredible stories that I'm sure that he will remember for the rest of his life. And those are the kind of things that are really life-altering. Because I always talk about football players have so much power and influence over people. It's good when you actually hear about somebody who's actually using that power. So shout out to Tyron Crawford, and I hope that he's going to have a great career after football. And Tyron, if you ever want to come on the Joe Boo Sports Report, you do have a Joe Boo T-shirt. I know, I remember. And don't make me pull out the picture of you and Joe Boo. Don't make me pull it out because I will. Okay, and in other news. We have, of course, Antoine Woods. Antoine Woods was re-signed by the Dallas Cowboys along with Cedric Wilson. Both of them signing their tenders, so he will be back. And I just want to pull this up. This was actually an interview from the 2020 season where things weren't really going really great. But this is kind of...
The defensive identity and how y'all are trying to...
Sorry, you can't hear the questions.
How would you describe what the defense wants its identity to be, and where are you in finding that process?
We're just going through a time right now where we just need to, just ignore all the noise and everybody on the outside speaking. Last game was what it was. We have to do better, and we will do better. But we just focus on moving forward, and just going to play hard and together as a defense to get that bad taste out of our mouth.
We know you pride yourself on what you call goalie ball in the past. When you have a game 307 rushing yards allowed,
yeah.
what went wrong that you
more
this week to make better?
I mean, it just didn't work out. You saw it, we saw it. It just didn't work out. We just got to do better. It's that simple. There's no excuse for it. It was not acceptable, not up to our standard of our potential, and we just have to do better. And it's just point blank, period.
We got to do better, point blank, period. All right, so I don't know if this is the right time to do this. This is actually what I worked on this morning while I was uploading my other video before I hit the road, and I left my notes here. I got down there, I was like, oh, frick, I left my notes. But people think that I hate Kyle Pitts. I don't hate Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts would be incredible. I wish I could go through and just say, yeah, I want Kyle Pitts. I want Micah Parsons. I want J.C. Horn, of course, and I want Patrick Surtain too. And I want Patrick Sewell. I want all. Can I get all? That's the guys I want. But the reality is we can't get them all. And as much as we enjoyed CeeDee Lamb, and as much as we enjoyed the potential, and we look forward to watching him throughout his career, the reality is we got to do better on defense. And see, there's a thing that I like to call revisionist history. And this is where, Jerry Jones kind of started this with, our defense is already better because, we got Dan Quinn here. Dan Quinn makes us better. And then when I heard, I read something on Twitter today, and it just felt like a deja vu moment, okay? Because people will say, well, the defense got better, and it was all Mike Nolan. Once they went back to the original scheme, the defense got better, and they're going to be fine. But what harkens back to me is how my man Philly 500 and Dan Orlovsky and all these guys like that were talking about how Carson Wentz turned it around the year before the last 5 games of the season. And I said, no, he didn't. You have to look at the level of the competition he was playing. I'm sorry. We were ass. We were one of the teams. The Giants, Washington. They were all teams that were going nowhere that Carson Wentz was playing against. And he only scored 17 points when he played us. And I said, look at the teams. It wasn't like he was playing really good teams. Like I said, we were ass. We know we were ass. We weren't any good. So when I hear people say our defense got better, yes, we did. We got more takeaways. We had 12 takeaways, I think, in 3 games there in a stretch, which was like unbelievable. Something that, was literally raining takeaways, which was great. I loved that. But before I say that this team turned around on defense, we really have to kind of look at this a little bit more. Because as we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the 10 last games of the season. Here's the thing. The first half of the season, we were giving up like 36 points a game when Dak was still here. We were averaging over 36 points a game we were giving up. And we were playing guys like, Atlanta. Atlanta, they don't win much, but they have a great offense, okay? Matty Ice, Julio Jones, they're going to score points. You look at the Cleveland Browns. They were a playoff team. You look at Seattle. You got Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, he's the real deal. And even the Rams, well, although we only gave up 20 against the Rams, we still gave up some points there. So when you compare giving up 36 points to teams that are really, really good, you understand that that's not really, really good. But here's the thing. Here's the way I look at it. The last 10 games were Washington, the Eagles, Steelers, Vikings, Washington again, Ravens, Bengals, San Francisco, Eagles, and Giants. So we went from the first half of the season giving up 36 point some odd points per game to finishing the season at 29, which means you brought it down more than 29 points to get that to average out. But the way I'm going to, and you'll say, hey, that's improvement. Yes, kind of. The takeaways were a big part of the improvement. But let's kind of go back through and just kind of look at this, okay? Washington averaged 20.9 points per game last year. Not great. The first game they played us, they got 25. That's 4.1 points more than their average. That's what they scored all season collectively. 4 points more. The Eagles, they averaged the same thing Washington did, 20.9. The first game we played them, they got 23. 2.1 points more than their average. The Steelers actually we did good against because they averaged 26. We held them to 24. So that's a positive right there. Vikings, they averaged 26.9, which is really good, but they still averaged 28, 2.1 points more against us. And then the second game against Washington, again, they averaged 20.9. We gave up 41. They doubled their scoring output. They doubled their scoring output. I don't know how we can say we got better. We got better. The Ravens, they averaged 29.3. They got 34. That's 4.7 more than their average. The Bengals, we did great against, but, Joe Burrow wasn't there. They were on the third-string quarterback. They got 7. They were 12.6 short of their thing. So that's two teams that we held to under their average. San Francisco averaged 23.5. They got 33. And then the Eagles, the second time around, we held them below. This is the third team that we actually held below their scoring average at 3.9. By that point, the team had imploded and was basically tanking. And then the Giants. This is a gut punch to me. This is a gut punch. The Giants averaged 17.5 points a game, second worst in the NFL. Yet somehow Danny Dollar Store got 23 against our defense and us. So I don't want to hear that our defense got better. We faced worse competition the second half of the season, okay? Worst competition in the second half of the season. If you're saying, this defense was heading the right direction, if you're believing that fallacy and if you're believing that we're automatically better just because we got Dan Quinn, you're going to be waking up to a rude awakening. And I don't say this to be mean. I'm trying, and I want people to understand. I did a video earlier today because I'm not going to sugarcoat and I'm not going to bullshit. I get people that sometimes get mad at me and say, "Well, why are you trashing the Cowboys? Why are you you need to be?" No, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. If you honestly look at a team that was historically bad, gave up more points than any other team ever in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, by far, by 30-some points. If you honestly believe that they're about ready to turn the corner because we got a new coach and we got some small name players, and you figure we don't need to worry about drafting guys, on the defense. Let's go for the offensive tackle, a tight end and all that. And we got 10 picks. So we'll use, 7 and 8 and fix the defense. You're nuts. You're nuts. You've got to get some real players to take care of this defense. Now, if you want to say I'm not a real fan, if I'm a hater and everything else, hey, I'm going to say individually we had some guys that started doing really good things. You looked at Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory was truly a thing of beauty coming along, and you hope that Randy Gregory is going to be taking a whole nother step, okay? You look at my man, the Canadian Bulldozer, the guy I wanted to get in the draft last year, who finally got on the field really in the middle of the season on a consistent basis. You look at the potential there and you say, man, that guy's good. You look at Diggs and say, yeah, Diggs with the second year, after having the injury and being a rookie, you say, yeah, he's going to be better. But we still have a whole lot more that we have to do to take care of this defense. And you guys know I'm all about the defense. All about the defense. And so with that being said, I've gone a little long here, and I think I'm a little bit hangry because the only thing I had, my wife got a bag of popcorn. Popcorn is not keto. It's not keto. But I had my coffee this morning. I had a bottle of water, and I was hungry, so I ate a bunch of popcorn. And now I am like totally starving, so I'm kind of hangry, and I can't eat a Snickers. I can't eat a Snickers. But one thing, our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Sports Report. How about them Cowboys? See you guys next week right here for the draft. And don't forget, tomorrow night, our live stream, 9 o'clock Eastern, we'll be giving away another one of those Joe Bardies. I'm Mark Holmes, and, well, thank you for watching.